So, this is the shit that's really funny. I haven't even finished the chapter yet. So, we're already getting into the Davy back fights, which a lot of people were like, oh, like, none of this shit is gonna be canon because nobody likes the fucking Davy back fights. Nobody likes Foxy. Nobody likes Long Ring, Long Land, right? And look at us now. We're winning.
Listen, listen. You cannot like it, but don't call it filler.
Everybody wants to call everything fucking filler. One Piece has no filler, and everybody thought that that shit was gonna be filler. And this shit is so funny because it makes sense. Because why would Rocks have so many different types of people on his crew if not for like a Davy back fight?
Yep, he basically done snatch stealed everyone.
And hell, with those people on his crew, I mean, so this is what I've been reading so far, right? So I'm at the point where him and Harold clashed for some reason, and they were just like, oh, Elbaf's over here, oh, this is over there. And now he's just like into the pirating business. And it's kind of funny that he treats it more like a business than anything else. Like, he doesn't really give a fuck about being a pirate, I don't think. I don't know, he's just in it for the game. That's all I see. But right now, he's like, he wants Harold to join him. He said, nah, he didn't say too much. It's just like, we ought to be equals, every one of us. Oh, that's what Harold is saying. What? I can't gauge what type of guy Rox is. Rox is just whatever. Like, he's not even like anything crazy. It's just like, you know, the regular guy that everybody talked about to be like, oh, this is the worst guy in the world. Like, no, he just did some crimes back to back that y'all got scared about and didn't mention his name for some reason. And I guess he has blast damage with his sword. I don't really understand that, but there's nothing really crazy that's like speaking to me right now.
Maybe he has a double fruit?
Um, I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but um, they didn't really announce it.
Ooh, or instead of the sword is blast back, maybe the sword has double fruit.
Mm, that'd be pretty cool. Oh, hold on. All right, so they got Don Marlin, which I guess is the other guy. Bullaled, the Island of Exiles, Pirate Island, the Hardened Criminals. They got Miss Buckin, who's the science robber, and Shiki is just a mobster right now, and he's gonna be the future Golden Lion. We got Newgate. The hell? Wang Ji. Um, what the hell? Ganzui. This dude's just eating. He's big eating right now.
Iggy.
Nah, but Rox just seems like the type of dude who's just like, I'm in it to do whatever the fuck we gotta do to like make big money. Like, he's not your typical pirate like what we would think Luffy is. He's just here. I don't really get it, I guess. But for some reason, I see Blackbeard as more of like a big villain than Rox is right now. And maybe it's just because he's like clashing with Luffy. But Rox is just like, He's just coming here and he's just like, hey, be on my crew. Sort of like Luffy in a way. But he's not really recruiting people to like have them all be one unit. He's just wanting to recruit people just because.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just a lot of talking and dialogue. I think Oda's just wanting to fill in a lot of the blanks. So he wants to be the king of the world and wants to bring the world government to its knees. Um, I I don't get it. So Rox just wants power.
I mean, I think Blackbeard kind of wanted the same thing too, right? Like, I feel like they both kind of like they just want to really be that like number one guy for strength reasons and maybe money reasons. But I feel like it. Wait, now he said king. Now I don't think there was a. I don't think necessarily king of the pirates, but I feel like it's the same kind of aspect. Like, I just want to be on top. Like someone like Luffy, he just wants to be on top really because he just wants to be on top. I don't think he really wants to be the most powerful in terms of like be like the number, like maybe like a king itself. Really, you know what I mean? But I feel like they really want to be like really like basically revered. Like I'm the strongest guy. Like bow down to me. Like you can't stop me. Type of shit.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at it wrong in terms of I'm looking at it like these guys should be working together or there's some specific reason other than just the Davy back fight that they came on. Like with Luffy's outlook has kind of changed me to sort of like look at all pirates in that way. And Luffy just likes the journey. He doesn't want to be, he just wants to be king of the pirates and everybody has fun. Rox is like, he wants to be king of the world. Like, he wants to be over the celestial dragons. I don't know why I was thinking of dragon, like, while I was looking at Rox. Because, I don't know, it kind of seems like Dragon just wants to do the same thing, but he's going about it in a different way. I mean, hell,
I never think.
with, but with Blackbeard though, Blackbeard is kind of going about things in a little more sinister way. So instead of him just being like, oh, I'm just gonna topple the world government or something, he's like going after pirates as well and their fruits. And I think if he knows anything about rocks, I hope he does. It's just like he's doing the same objective, but I think he wants to do it even better. Like he wants that
There's a
overwhelming
theory I
power.
heard. I don't think it's a spoiler. I think there's a theory I heard. I don't know if you want me to say it.
Well, let me tell you something real quick. So this is the thing, right? And I got this from another YouTuber. I got this idea from somebody else. I don't remember his name, but it was like Joy Boy something, and basically, so you know how Logia fruits work a specific way, like so with Kizaru, for example, he has his light, and he can basically do whatever he wants as long as he has light, right? So mm, maybe there's a specific way a fruit can activate. A Logia fruit will activate as long as the conditions are right. And I think Blackbeard's fruit can't really be utilized because he's not in total darkness. And you remember when he took Whitebeard's fruit? I think the reason he was able to take it is because he put him and Whitebeard in total darkness, and I guess his fruit like activated in a certain way, and he was able to take it. So I'm wondering if that might be how he can do what he's doing, because that seems to be the only abnormal thing that he can do. Like he can somehow have more than one fruit, but maybe the darkness fruit really does take all. Like that's the reason why he can nullify other devil fruits and stuff. But so the space between his hand and the person is sort of like total darkness, so he can kind of just nullify it by touching them, but it's not really complete. So when he has the tarp over, he can really manipulate the fruit. And then this goes back to, when Jabra and the CP9 guys got their fruits, they were talking about devils and stuff, and like they'll fight and whatnot. And I think they might fight because some fruits just kind of clash, and some of them can't really, fight on equal terms. So the darkness fruit must have like higher dominion over the other ones. So when he has more than one fruit and he uses the dark fruit to overtake it, he can just use it. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I don't know, like, but I do think this, like, if we're getting into like demons and all this other shit, like, some Black Clover type stuff, and we've just seen, the Davy back fights. There is no filler in One Piece. There's probably something gonna go on with actual devils. Like that might be the reason why the Gorosei don't have devil fruit names, because it has to do something with the actual devils inside the fruits. I'm thinking those are examples of the devils that don't require a fruit to be granted that power. Emu must have something. Like he can just gain control of the devils like themselves or something like that. Because there's no way he has the actual devils on him.
Well, I heard a theory that there's apparently like a folklore. I think it was based off the anime was based off it, where it was like I forgot, it was like what, 100 Demon Parade or something like that. I forgot the name exactly, but it's like apparently like a person who has like a bunch of demons.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, Emu must have, like, that's how they can shapeshift. Like, cause you saw with Emu when he was trying to fight Sabo, like Emu just kind of transformed into a bunch of different things. It wasn't really just one form. I'm wondering if Emu is like a controller of devils or something. It has to be something with that, like something from the underworld. But no, I finished the chapter, and I think all this is just a rocks reveal and dialogue to kind of just get the story moving, and that's kind of it.
Ooh, listen to this, Richard. I just looked it up. Right, the Ayaki Yagyo. Right, it says also known as the Night Parade of 100 Demons, a famous Japanese folklore concept involving a progression of thousands of supernatural creatures, including Oni and yokai, parading through the streets at night. The event can be interpreted as a terrifying eruption of the supernatural world in the human realm, sometimes depicted as an orderly procession and other times as a chaotic riot.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that
And this is
sounds about
Japanese
right.
folklore.
See, Oda's been doing a lot of folklore lately, especially for the not only the Gorosei, but also the God's Knights as well. And Emu coming out with like spell books and shit and getting enchanted guns, I guess. It's like blowing off a giant's hand. And possessing Gunko as well. Gunko has something to do with Brook too. There's gonna be some shit with
Yeah.
that. I don't know, but that's about it for me. I'm gonna just see what Oda does next. So
Oh, Richard,
hmm?
I heard this other theory. Um, they think that okay, so I don't 100% believe it because I don't know if it was because it was before it was revealed that Rox was. I think it was before they revealed Rox as like Blackbeard's dad, but I think it could still be kind of true to an extent, right? Because they believe that Rox is actually Blackbeard. Oh,
um
I thought about it because they were saying the whole thing. Like, mind you, like I said, this was before they revealed that about all like someone did the immortality surgery on Rocks, and it was like blah 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 Blackbeard. But I thought about it, like they never explained the immortality surgery. So like, do you just live forever, or do you like? Is there like some kind of stipulation, right? And if you think about it, right, if Emu and all of them live forever, they don't have that immortality surgery. They have some kind of loophole to their shit. So maybe the one with laws of devil fruit is not really a forever living type of situation.
nah, I think Emu's just an actual demon or something. There's no way. But as for the immortality stuff, um, with rocks, shit, I don't know. I don't know about rocks living forever. Um, maybe if hmm,
Because what they were saying is that because so you know how like Blackbeard has like three skulls on his thing, and they keep saying like Blackbeard has like the two devil fruits he could have it because he has like two hearts or something like that or something with his art his anatomy. So they were saying they think it's because instead of him being really his son, he's basically like him reincarnated or like not like actually like oh like it's not like the Luffy like Joy Boy type of thing. I'm talking about like literally like Rocks reverted back to a child, but like kind of not really him. Now I think it's kind of a wild theory because, but then again, we have so much bullshit happening that I was like, you know what? At this rate, I mean, you got a whole bunch of bullshit going on, so I wouldn't be surprised if something like that could be an excuse. Although I think it would be a really lame excuse.
somebody said something about like uh, rocks having two sons or something. I don't know what that was about. It was like on top of Blackbeard being his son, it was like what other character would have been his son or half brother or something
Oh no.
or cousin? I'm not sure, but I could I'm not sure. It would be very interesting if Blackbeard was just rocks but like reborn. Um that would be insane. And maybe like Blackbeard is rocks trying to like find a different route. But the thing about it is, you know what? You remember when Lafitte was able to sort of infiltrate Mary Jo's and go to where the Gorosei were like sitting there?
Mhm.
That might have something to do with that. I'm not sure because Rox is the only one apparently, from what I know, was able to infiltrate like the flower room or something. But that shit is crazy though, because it's like, okay, like, how was Rox able to get there?
Not only that, it was like that man. He got there and he basically was like, "I'm coming back," and he was such a problem that these motherfuckers had to team up with pirates.
Basically.
Like, they really were that afraid of him. I personally believe that it could, like, there's something connected to it. I don't know, but I could see it happening where it's like, oh, Rocks is like I don't know, because I was thinking about it too. This is why I was thinking of even entertain the idea, because I was thinking about it. It's like, well, how did Blackbeard even learn about the devil fruits? Because even though Whitebeard's crew was looking for devil fruits, when Thatch got the devil fruit, none of them knew what it was. The only person that had an idea was Blackbeard, and they picked up Blackbeard randomly out of nowhere when he was a kid. So it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like he was like a grown man, had all these bunch of travels, right? And kind of had an idea of like devil fruits. He didn't even know anything. Like, I mean, well, I'm not saying he didn't know. He didn't have any outside knowledge outside of like the crew or what we knew. So unless they show like, hey, like he actually like studied on his own, like he might have still done that. But I feel like anything he would have had access to, anybody on Whitebeard's crew would have had access to. That
All
means
right.
there would have been a chance they would all knew.
All right, hold on. I got something. So you remember how Bonnie is apparently a big deal for the world government to the point that they experimented on her with devil fruit uh, extraction and stuff.
Mm.
So if, let's say, because Bonnie doesn't actually have the fruit, right? What if somebody else who had the fruit was able to make Blackbeard back into a kid permanently after awakening it? That would be the only way I could see like that theory being valid with Rocks being Blackbeard. And then on top of that, it's kind of like um somebody else has the real fruit for Bonnie's thing. Or maybe the extraction of the fruit makes it inactive once it was put inside of her. Um so that might be why the government was trying to like keep tabs on her so much, because the government specifically knows, like even Saturn when he was holding up Bonnie, like he knew specifically exactly how the fruit worked. So maybe them and that fruit have something in common. Maybe Rox was turned into a kid somehow, and then after that, it was just like they, I don't know, somebody turned him to a kid, and then they just kind of didn't know what happened to him after that. Um, because if it took Lafitte infiltrating the Gorosei to tell them about Blackbeard, they should have known. And then Blackbeard and not Blackbeard, but his crew going to touch Saturn basically to be like, okay, now I can turn into you or something like that. And maybe Blackbeard just looking at it as a second life, and that's why he was so excited to get the dark fruit, because he kind of already knew about it.
Maybe. I was wondering too, like how that would even work. 'Cause I was like, they like Law said, hey, I can do that immortality surgery, and obviously this is what I was thinking of. How is it even an idea that could be done, right? That
Mm,
immortality surgery. So I thought in my mind, I was like, somebody has had to been successful for them to even think that is a possibility to do. And on top of that, right, if you think about it, they said that that fruit was only really given to surgeons. So I can kind of see it being they were like one of the people, they got a surgeon on the team, and I even thought about it, like, hey, you have all these different scientists that Rox had, like he had Stussy on his crew.
yeah, and Stussy was, let's see what she was again. She was a science robber. So I don't know, maybe she was looking for that. Let me see.
They're like, I'm gonna steal all the science.
But it's crazy anyways. So this would mean, looking at Rox's life now, he would have so much research under his belt because he's not really like against pirates. He's just kind of like against the world government mainly. So him going back to a kid would help him because the government would forget about him because they already erased him from all public knowledge. This is a second chance for him to be like, okay, I need more than just random strong people. Like, no, I need strong people and devil fruits and stuff. So I guess the best way he could go about it was like get overpowered people and steal devil fruits. And if he had known that the dark fruit could steal other people's fruits and he could have multiple ones, I mean, that'd be the best way he could go about it. And I mean, like Blackbeard kind of acts like he knows certain things, but he's sort of cowardly at the same time. Rox doesn't seem like the type of person to be cowardly, but so that's what's kind of getting me with this, like him being Blackbeard, because Rox isn't that type.
But you see, that's what I was trying to say, Richard. I can see the theory of, is what I think they were trying to say is him having the three skulls meant he had three souls in him.
Oh, I think I know what you mean.
So like
Like how Brooke's
maybe
soul.
if he maybe yeah, but like like so you know how Brooke died, returned to his body, and you know obviously he's skin and bone now. He can like leave his soul and everything. But think of it in a different sense. I thought of it as if Rox was like the justice. Okay, so what I was thinking. This is what I was thinking. Right. This is more my theory now. I'm not gonna really go into, but similar thing. Revive. Right. But you think of like, okay, so we have Joy Boy, we have Roger, and we have Luffy, right? Three different eras, right? So what if there was Rocks, Blackbeard, and then somebody else in the same three different eras, but they all lived in the same body?
Hmm.
So like, okay, I don't know about okay. The thing is like who like even if that's the case, who would be the third person? But I think about it. People keep saying every time, "Oh, Blackbeard has three hearts because he can do with the devil fruit, right?" And then he has the Jolly Roger with the three skulls, right? Okay, so I thought about it. I was like, well, could it be that since his body is quote unquote different, right? Not only does he have like maybe three parts or like multiple parts or whatever, but he has like three different personalities. So I could see it being like a Rock's personality, a Blackbeard personality, and maybe like a third personality that we just don't know about.
So with that, this is what I could see that happen, right? Maybe before Brooke got his redo fruit, maybe Rox had it beforehand, like he had already eaten the fruit, so that's why he doesn't seem to have a fruit right now. So maybe like I guess shit, I don't know. Hold on. If he were to die, there has to be some way like he could be reincarnated or like share a body with another soul, and so he's just kind of in the background a little bit. And like,
This is what I'm talking about, Richard. That's why I'm saying the surgery.
yeah,
You do the surgery and then reincarnate him. Now, here's the thing I was thinking of too. Now, the other people are saying that surgery were reverting him to a child or whatever. I'm thinking of it differently, right? What if the surgery is okay? So let's just talk about Rocks and Black. Let's not talk about a third person, right? Let's say Rocks was like maybe not dead, but on his like brink of death, right? Like maybe like he knows he's dying in like an hour or something. if there was a guy who had that, you know, opie opie no me, and maybe did the surgery on Rox's kid, Blackbeard,
Yeah.
and put his heart in Blackbeard to make Blackbeard quote unquote immortal, or Rox quote unquote revived.
Oh, I know what you mean. My bad. Okay. I had to remember that Law could like switch people's personalities.
Do you see what I'm talking about? So I don't know if it would work that way, to be honest. I don't know exactly how it would work, but Law himself said that basically that surgery is kind of possible, and just he just refuses to do it. But listen, if that potentially happened, who's to say that it can't be involved with that kind of situation? And if you think about it like this, who did Blackbeard go straight for?
Mm,
Fucking Law.
basically, like he knew about it.
He
Like,
knew about his he knows about everybody's fucking abilities. The main one he doesn't really know about is Luffy. But I feel like that's because nobody knows about Luffy's abilities, like, to be honest. I don't even think it's his fault.
what kind of gets me is, yeah, it's the thing where Blackbeard can't sleep at night, and then on top of that, he this knowledge that he kind of came across. Like, where is he getting all this shit from? Like, this is kind of abnormal. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
because if he's been on Whitebeard's crew this entire time, it's like you don't just randomly learn about devil fruits. And even as a kid, like, maybe if he did like extensive research, like he had to have either been given the knowledge or something.
And then you think about it like this. Think about Blackbeard's introduction. He gets found by Whitebeard, right? Of all the people in the world to get found by, you get found by Whitebeard. Beg him to join his crew. He looks at you, probably saw rocks in him. Maybe looked at it like, is this Rox's son? Kind of reminds me of Rox. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna take his ass on.
Mm,
Right? Takes his ass on. And you probably understand that Whitebeard is also looking for devil fruits too for his crew. So of course, the one crew that's hunting down devil fruits, you're on it, right? And who? Okay, let me test it. As somebody who is, you're thinking of, hey, somebody who potentially, obviously knew Whitebeard, so he probably knew. Maybe he was interested in looking for devil fruits. So that might have been something that he already knew about, right? Or having like thought about, like, oh, maybe he's interested in the devil fruit hunt, right? Cool. Okay, I want the darkness fruit. I'm just gonna chill on his crew, wait for my moment, and then strike. And then use my rocks knowledge, right? Because, okay, let's say he does, so Blackbeard doesn't sleep. What if the night, or like the Blackbeard is technically asleep, Rox is awake?
yeah. Also, what if Blackbeard is just a clone?
That could be something too, because they did introduce cloning.
Yeah, I was like, what if
They
he was
did
like
introduce
sort
cloning.
of a failed clone, and that might explain the defects. Because, for example, look at Weevil.
Evil is
Like,
a hot
like,
mess.
like Weevil is like a decent clone of Whitebeard, but it's just like something wrong with him. So maybe in all the cloning they did, maybe they got Rox's DNA or something, and they were able to clone him. And so like the side effects were just like, obviously he's gonna look different.
You know what?
He can't sleep at night.
You know what? I can see a potential there. Like, so remember they had Mads, right? That was with all the scientists together,
Yep.
right? What if Blackbeard is the Mads original clone?
Yeah. The ultimate fucking clone that got away or something like that. But maybe they listed him off as nothing, like he just escaped and that was it. Like because I think the main reason for like ridding all the information for rocks is just the simple fact of him infiltrating the flower room. That's basically something like no other pirate should ever be able to do.
Hmm.
And actually, their security is ridiculous. Like, what what is up with Emu? Emu is obviously not omnipotent or anything because he let Sabo get in. He let um, Wapple of all people spy on him, literally, just like watching through a hole in the wall on the other side of the room. And Sabo is in there, like as a knight. So Emu is not omnipotent or anything, which is kind of probably why the Gorosei think that they're so great. It's just I don't know, like Emu has special powers and shit, but he's probably nothing more than just a damn demon.
Honestly, and hello, Emmanuel. Honestly, I
Hello?
feel like okay, Emu, Emu. I think I don't think he's as demonic as we're kind of making him out to be, or her. Who knows, right? I think what it is now. How do I explain it? I feel like there's something about Emu, but I don't. I personally don't think demon. Even though they have Emu has demon powers, that's clear as day. I keep thinking of that. Remember, I was talking about that whole, uh, demon parade, and I thought about it too. Like it feels like it's the demon parade where you can just convert people to demons. You have a bunch of demons. You pick and choose, blah blah blah. Right? And you can give them special demon power. Because remember, each okay, just think of the Gorosei. Right? Each one of the Gorosei have their own unique demon powers. They're not like fucking regular demons. Right? They have their own special ability, right? And that's essentially what the demon parade is. They're all different demons. They're not just clones of demons. Okay? So that's why I'm thinking, okay, it's the demon parade, right? The demon parade has a leader, right? So I'm assuming Emu was the leader. But I thought about it. This demon parade ability could literally just be a fucking devil fruit if we think about it. It might not even be, or you never know, because remember they said that the technology in the past was just as good if not better than the current one. Remember, Vegapunk already said this, that all that technology he did is stuff that they could have easily done in the past. So clearly the past had technology to do a cloning, the past had technology to have robots, the past had all the technology. For all we knew, no, Emu had technology in the past to keep himself alive. It may not even be that he's a fucking demon. Who knows? Maybe he just got that the power like that because he's on top, right?
You know what? And that goes back into Vegapunk's inventions of light and what determines what's real and what's not. Like you remember how they had like the big dinosaurs up there and they were just doing stuff, but you can't hit them. It might be
Yeah.
something related to that. Like maybe they had a certain type of technology where people could transform or something, and I guess Emu has that one little bit of tech that lets him do it. So
Right.
so maybe he's, but there's also like the big demon aspect to it though. Like they have the circles and everything, but maybe that's part of the technology.
You see, this is what I'm trying to say, Richard. I have a theory, right? Now, could Emu be a demon? Maybe. Could Emu be a human? Maybe.
I
Could
mean,
Emu be a
the underworld is actually real in One Piece, so
could Emu be a devil fruit user? Maybe. You know what I was thinking of that nobody ever brought up?
hmm,
So you know how Lunarians they have the name Lunarian in their name.
yeah.
I think Emu isn't even from Earth. You know what they never bring up? The damn cover story that they did with the Nell going to the moon.
The moon people.
And the fact that the people from the moon had in contact with people from Earth. Or the One Piece Earth.
That might actually be why Emu is just revered as, like, you know, the top guy, because the the crown thing actually makes sense as well too. Wait, did they have crowns and shit up on the moon? I forget what they had, but I don't know. Either way, it was more like I could see Emu just coming off from space or something like that as like an invader and just kind of taking over. And then maybe he did something crazy and then got these people under him, and like, you know, the Lunarians and all this other crap happened and they just kind of took over.
Now I'm looking at it, Richard. I'm looking at the cover story, one of the pictures from that Enel cover story, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
Enel with a bunch of those moon people, and they look like Tontatas.
Yeah, that's another thing too. The Tentatas, shit, what was it? It's like, they are. There was another theory. Um, this guy's called the Crap Cafe, um, and basically he was saying that Usopp might be a mix between like a human and a Tentata because of his botany skills.
Oh,
So basically, the Tentatas, you know, they can basically manufacture and grow devil fruit trees. That's how they did all the smile fruits. And it could explain the long nose part, because remember, his mom had a long nose, but she was regular sized. But the Tentatas have long noses as well. And assuming, you know, we saw that Gabon and his wife is a giant, so would it be too far fetched to say, like, you know, maybe either it was a guy Tentata and a female human, or the other way around? Maybe they had a kid and it ended up being Usopp's mom, who was like a mix between the two, and then his mom got with Usopp's dad, and then it was a mix between the mix of the two, and the nose, because of genetics, kind of stayed. And Usopp picked up on the nose and the botanist thing, and that also goes into when he was on that one island for the time skip, and he was able to learn everything about plants, because now he's basically at the point where he has a whole like area where he just grows shit on the ship in like any condition, and he can just use these plants. So I don't know, that I support the Crap Cafe's theory. That's pretty crazy. I think uh that might also explain why Usopp can run away so fast, because you see how fast the Tentata are as well.
oh, Usopp got that Tentata in him.
Mm.
He need to
Oh,
tap into that strength.
by the way, that might also go into Noland as well. So I was actually thinking about this. You remember the Tentata's tails?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of interesting that Nolan has a thing on his head that kind of looks like a tail of the Tentatas?
Um. Yeah, that's true.
What if
Nolan.
Nolan is just a descendant of something like that? I mean, hell, shit, he's a botanist too. He was out here healing forests and shit.
Um.
All
I
right,
don't know.
let me look at the Tentata's tails. So, um, I
It's like a crust butt.
I guess
It's a crust butt.
the Tentata tail thing would be kind of weird, but I mean, regardless, I mean, like he has a chestnut shit on his head that looks like a Tentata thing. I don't know, but we've seen crazier fusions.
All I know is I feel like Emu is either. I personally feel like Emu's either a demon or an alien.
Mm,
I don't think they're a human, but I also think they could be a demon or alien with a devil fruit.
I would like Alien better. That'd be cool. Alien would be fucking awesome.
A fucking Martian.
Mm, like the original Moon person or something like that. Like I don't know, but I kind of want to end it here because it's getting kind of late. I'm probably
Yeah.
go to sleep in a sec.
Okay.
So,
Oh, also look into Virgin Voyages because I know we were talking about that cruise situation, and
hmm
I think Virgin Voyages, even though it's more expensive, if you look at the things that they offer, like free Wi-Fi, which funny enough, a lot of these places don't get free Wi-Fi. And it has like all the food is included, everything.
oh,
So
oh,
look,
here. If we're gonna talk about that, let me end it here. All right. Hope y'all enjoyed the theories. Peace out, YouTube.